Hey y'all, hey. We are back. We
Yes.
are back. Welcome to another episode of Real Women, Real Talk. We are on episode 28. Wow, we are growing.
Yes.
We're almost in them 30s. We're almost in them 30s. We are so grateful that you all have been listening to us, watching us, and growing with us. We are getting gooder and gooder, as my sister said. We are getting better and better, and so glad that you are on this journey with us. My name is Trenace Richardson, and I am the founder of Real Women Rock. And you are?
I am the amazing Shavon Carter, and I am one of the facilitators for Real Women.
Yes, you are. And we are elated that you are here. If this is your first time, welcome. Please take a listen to or watch our other episodes. We are truly a good time. You will
Yes.
laugh, you will cry, you will be enlightened and illumined. So please take time to listen to the previous episodes. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back and joining us. We would like to invite all of you all to engage in our nonprofit, Real Women Rock. Go to our website, realwomenrock.org, for all of the information about our sister circles. It is an amazing place where we create safe spaces for women to do personal development work on themselves. And we do that by helping women connect and grow their confidence and become catalysts of change in their lives and the lives of others. And it starts with you just checking out our website and seeing what we are about. We have a sister circle either near you or coming near you or online. So it doesn't matter. You can join us wherever you live. All you have to do is go to the website, check out our events page, and you'll get to know more about us there. In the meantime, while you're here, you are going to get a sneak peek into the conversations that we have in Real Women. We just wanted to make sure that we extended our circle out to you in this conversation. So we welcome you in. You have the opportunity to not just listen, but also to be a part of the conversation. We have made this available to you by going to speakpipe.com/real women real talk. Whenever you hear something that resonates with you, if you want to answer the questions that we are asking each other, if you want to give your answer to the scenarios that we pose, please reach out to us, leave us a message. If it cuts you off, get right back on the horn and continue, pick up where you left off. We got you. We would
Yes.
love to hear from you. All right. So thank you, sister, for being here with me. How you doing today? Real talk.
I'm doing so good. I was encouraged today. I want to share this story really quickly. So,
Yeah.
as many of you know, I am inching my way into practicum for this program that I'm in, this counseling program that I'm in, and I'm about to start the experiential part of the program where I actually have to see clients and that kind of stuff. So I have been feeling a little anxious about it because it starts in May, and the my supervisor called just to check in and to talk, and who the lady who will be my supervisor, and she was like, how you feeling, how you doing? And I was like, I'm really anxious. And she was like, I don't want to minimize how you're feeling. She's such a therapist and I love it. She's
Right,
like, I
right.
don't want to minimize how you're feeling, because you're entitled to feel how you feel, but I just want to insert this, which is, you when I sat down with you and experiencing you, there was a reason why I put your name forward and wanted you to have the second interview. So she said, you're going to be protected, you're going to be in a safe space, and we're going to organically allow the process to take its course, and so you'll be fine, but I understand how you feel and that is okay, but I just want you to know that you're going to be fine. Oh my god, that was so encouraged. I didn't know I needed all of that, but she
Yeah.
spoke, to my spirit and to my soul, and that just shifted. my perspective so instantly. So
Mhm.
I really appreciate that, and just wanted to say that encouragement can go a long way, because that really just lifted my spirits today, and I didn't even know I needed that. So yeah.
Girl, that's got me rocking already. Just we not even 5 minutes into this podcast episode. But
Yeah.
those words, it felt like um oil, just kind of like
Yes.
a soothing salve, even
Yes.
just hearing it. And it wasn't even for me. So I can only imagine what it felt like for you to hear it.
Yes.
That's beautiful. Yeah,
Yes, it was
that's
so
beautiful.
encouraging, and after we
Yeah,
got off the call, I just started speaking life into myself and reminding
mhm.
myself of who I am, what I've been called to do, and what I'm capable of, and so, yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love
Yeah,
it. Well, you having a good day.
I'm having a good day, yeah.
Good. That's good. I
Yeah,
am I am in a season of looking forward. I feel like I need to appreciate some of my now.
okay,
And so that's I'm speaking life to myself that there are
yeah,
wonderful things happening in my now and I can look at them and appreciate them and not but and
mhm,
I am acknowledging where I am and where I am is looking forward to I think I mentioned in the last episode looking forward to vacation. I haven't had that
yeah,
yet.
yep,
So just looking forward and I know once something like that happens or once I get a little bit of a reprieve
yeah,
um that I'll come back to the present more energized.
mhm,
So I'm acknowledging where I am and what I need, while
mhm,
at the same time knowing that there's good here too.
yeah, I
Yeah,
love that, I love
yeah,
that,
yeah.
mhm,
So I did during this real talk segment, and as y'all can see, it's just us checking in with each other, seeing how we're doing. We want to know how you're doing, so please utilize speakpipe.com/ real women real talk. But we like to pose a little question, just a little discussion starter in this
uh-huh,
segment. And I want to have a little fun with this because I'll build on it later. And I just want to
okay,
have some fun. I think,
let's do it.
who knows where this will go, but I know I have fun in mind.
Okay,
Um, I want to know what your favorite genre of music is, if
mhm,
you have one. And then if
mhm,
you have a favorite song or maybe more than one favorite song. So that's
yeah.
where, what do you think?
I am an R&B girl. You hear me? I
Ooh,
love,
yeah.
ooh,
Ooh,
yeah,
yeah.
I love R&B music, especially when you say, "Oh yeah," old school R&B. Like I am a Jodeci, New Edition, Tevin Campbell, like all of those kind of music from back in the day. It
Hmm.
feels so nostalgic, so it just makes me feel good. It makes me go back to those spaces when I was younger and just carefree and just the fun. So I love R&B. Now, a favorite song? I don't think I have a favorite song. It depends on the mood I'm trying to create. Like
Sure.
if I want to, like lately, it's not a from back in the day. It's a recent song, but it's a song "Money Long," made for me. I think it's a song. Yeah, "Made for Me"
Hmm.
by
Hmm.
Money Long.
Hmm.
Nobody shine like you do.
Hmm.
So I love that. It's just something about that I've been grooving to. So it just depends on like the mood. So that's my song of today that I listen to over and over. Yeah.
Yeah. That put me in the mind of there's a whole lot of I don't know what to call it, new R&B, new school
Uh-huh.
R&B, I don't know. But what does she say? On my mama, on my mama, on my what is
Oh
she?
my
I put
hood.
that on my
Oh,
mama,
oh,
on my
oh, I was thinking about the
hood.
rap song. Yeah.
No, 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 Victoria. I had to get there. You had to give me
Oh,
a minute.
oh,
What you're gonna find out is R&B is not my favorite, so I gotta get
okay.
there. I do like old school R&B, like just the
Okay.
Jodeci and all of that. I'll go to a New Edition concert with you in a minute,
I'm
but
telling you. Yes.
so I need a minute when it comes to all of the new school R&B. But
Okay.
yeah, So for me, um, so I have to break the rules and say first, I really do love all genres of music.
Okay.
There are very few genres of music that I can't get something out of, or I love jazz, I love classical music, I love country, certain,
Uh-huh.
it just depends on the artist and the song and all of
Mhm.
that. I do love R&B, gospel, blues. Like I love it all.
Mhm.
If I had to say in this season what my favorite is, it would be neo soul. It
I
would
can
be
see
neo
that.
soul. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
I am into all things India Ari.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna be able to name a whole lot of people because
Uh-huh.
India Ari
Yeah.
is kind of where I live, but
Mhm.
literally the kind of music that is realistic and speaks life,
Yeah.
um, and really pours in affirmatively, like to you, but in a
Uh-huh.
really soulful kind of way.
Yep.
I love that. And right at the periphery of that is like a newer school gospel, like a Jonathan McReynolds, or
Okay. Yep.
a Molly Music is on both sides. He's on neo
Yeah.
soul and he's on the new gospel. I love that. So
Got you.
I can live there. A
Mhm.
newer school jazz is in that vein. It's like if there were
Mhm.
circles, what are those Venn diagrams or something? If there were
Uh-huh.
circles where the circles connect in the middle, I feel
Yeah.
like it's where I am, where I live. The
Mm.
most soulful, soul-centered music
Yeah.
um, is where I live. But then, I love go-go. I love reggae. Like I had a blast at the Bob Marley movie.
I
I
wanna
was
see that. I haven't seen that yet.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good.
Oh,
It's so good. I love go-go. I was just cooking to go-go music last night. So
yeah.
all the things.
Yeah.
My favorite song, I have a playlist. It's so sad that I asked this question and wasn't prepared. But my favorite song right now, you know what? This girl, I'm gonna have to look for her name, but the
Okay.
song is My Love Is Mine, All Mine.
Mm,
Um, and I
heard
she's not popular. She's
mm.
like, I don't know what to tell you. I just love this song by her. It's by Mitski, Mitski. I don't know this woman, and
Okay.
she looks Caucasian, but
Uh-huh.
this song and the words to it, it's just
Mm.
so affirming. And it's my love is
Uh-huh.
mine, all mine. Like
Oh,
it's,
I like
I don't have
that.
anything else in the world until I have my love for me. It's beautiful.
Yes, I
It's
love that.
beautiful. Yeah, the words are amazing. So
Yeah.
affirmative, soulful, soul-centered music is me. Soul music, soul music. So
Mm.
we want to know, what are y'all's favorite? I could
Yes.
go on, just keep talking, right? I could do this. We want to know what you all's favorite songs are or genres of music. Argue with us. Come on,
Yes,
just tell
yes.
us what yours are. We would love to know,
Yeah.
so we can have some conversation about it. Beyonce is making some people love country music right now.
I'm
She is
telling
doing.
you. When I tell you Beyonce can't do no wrong, I'm not a country girl, but I said I will have my hat and country outfit on if she goes on tour because I love all things Beyonce. So yeah,
Yes, she
I'll
is
be a
making
country
some
girl.
people say, "Okay, country, all right, I
Right.
can do it."
Well, here we go. Giddy up.
Out it
Right.
and all the things. So that was fun.
Yeah.
I wanna build on that a little bit in our next segment, which we call deep dive, because we tend to take some of the sister circle topics that we've discussed in Real Women, we ideas and topics and themes that come up that are important to us. We want to bring to the forefront because we love the reason why I love my sister right here is because we love a good conversation.
Ooh,
We
honey.
we love some words. You hear
Yeah.
me? And so we want to invite you into a deep dive and a good conversation And sister, I would like for this topic to be, I guess I'll entitle it Mood Shifters.
Hmm.
Mood
Nice.
shifters.
Okay.
So, um, so this topic is really important to me because I consider myself, and I don't use the word master lightly
Uh-huh.
because I am a jack of many trades and a master of only a few. But one of them I am a master of is a manager of myself. And I am
Mm-hmm.
learning to give myself credit for that because
Yeah.
I have spent years doing study and introspection and research on myself.
Yes.
And so I consider it my responsibility to be aware of where I am situated externally and internally, who I am, what I'm feeling, and then taking actions to shift my disposition if I need to. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
just talking about what job I'm in, but literally how I'm feeling today, being aware of how I'm feeling. If there's something about it that needs to shift, talking myself through what that is. Even if I know I need to talk to somebody else, I had to
Mm-hmm.
tell me that. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had to
Yeah.
tell me, you need to call your girlfriends.
Right. Right.
So
Exactly.
I am a master manager when it comes to me. And so too often, and I'm gonna give myself that credit because
Uh-huh.
too often in the past, I found myself relying on the words or the actions of others to
Mm.
help me figure it out. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on with me and where I am, and everybody else's word means more to me than my own. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
else's thoughts means more to me than my own. I've been there. And so I have, by no means arrived. I'm not perfect. I know I still have growing to do, but it's a sign of growth for me and maturity that I take responsibility for my own happiness, my own joy. I am not unhappy or not feeling free or loved because of my husband or because of my
Right.
friends or because of my mama. I'm not because of my daddy. I'm not pointing no fingers these days. I need to be responsible for my happiness and joy. And so that's a lot of preface, but it's my truth and it's really important to me. And so
Mm-hmm.
I want your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
I first, because I know you are a student of you as well, and you
Yeah.
teach and coach other people. I want you to speak to however you want to about it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I want to get into this idea of how do you manage you? How do you
Mm-hmm.
shift your mood or your disposition when you need to do so? Go where you want to go, sister.
Mm-hmm. Ah, this topic is so, yes, I love it so much because this is my jam.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say where I am now, I am absolutely an advocate, a manager, uh, and to the point where I love being able to be in control of myself
Mm-hmm.
because that was not always the case, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say and safely say with no hesitation that I am empowered to be the manager of my life. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm really proud about that because I come from a space years, and I would probably say I'm living in this space probably in the last couple of years is when I can honestly say that I am here. It's been only a couple of years, but I just said in the last episode that I turned 46. So I spent a whole lot of time allowing other people to have control over my moods,
Mm-hmm.
to the point where I didn't feel like I could be empowered, and then I didn't feel like I could be that manager of myself. And so it looked like being controlled by people's thought processes, their opinions about me. I remember something that used to come up a lot starting in my childhood was, "You so selfish. You are so selfish." Like, I used to hear that a lot in my childhood. And so that was a trigger point for me. So anytime
Mm-hmm.
someone would say that or allude to that, that would hit up against, that belief about myself, and it would shift my moods. And then I would be, just feeling some type of way about myself. But just getting to the point of understanding that if I'm selfish, that's my business. Like that I can be that. And it's no longer like a trigger for me, because okay, I am, so what? I am selfish, I'm
Mhm.
self-full, I am self all the things, because that's just who I am. And so what that looked like for me, I would say, when you ask the question of how did I get there, it was therapy.
Mm.
That was what it was for me, because I learned, and this talking about 9, 10 years in therapy, learning how to just focus on myself.
Mhm.
It was
Mhm.
being in a space where mood management was modeled for me by my therapist, where
Wow.
I get to talk about my moods, where I get to talk about, oh, I'm feeling this, or this person said this about me, and now I'm feeling insecure, or I'm feeling, sad, or I'm feeling tarnished about myself. And so
Mhm.
it was having those conversations, being vocal about my mood so that I could have a safe space to express how I felt. That was helpful. And then over time, learning how I can take all the tools that my therapist used in helping me to process, then I could do that with myself. So
Mhm.
it was taking all the stuff that he did, and now, I can hear his voice in my head, and, I can do those with myself. And so that was the point, of therapy,
Mhm.
to model that process, to teach me how to do that with myself. So yeah, that's
That's so good. And what that says is you weren't selfish. It isn't all about you. You literally did take the trained opinions and advice and counsel of someone to allow it to inform you and equip you so
yeah.
that you could be a better manager of yourself. You didn't make it all, if so, you wouldn't have listened to him or anybody else, I would think,
Right. Yeah,
so
yeah.
so I love that that was what informed you. And I will have to be honest and say the two big factors that have led to me being a better mood shifter of myself
Mhm.
and a manager of me has been Real Women
Yeah.
and my inner circle, of
Mhm,
which you are a part of.
mhm.
So for me, Real Women was the shift that I made from religiosity.
Mhm.
So I have, for me, it has been modeled in front of me for years to act a certain way, even if I'm not there,
Mm.
to lie about how I'm feeling, to,
Yeah.
to and it's, I know the reasons behind it. Like I know, speak life until you feel it, all that kind of stuff. But what we're teaching people is not to deal with who they really are and what they're really dealing with.
Yeah.
And
In the
so
present. Mhm.
in the present,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
And so so being starting Real Women and then being in the midst of real women, like literally
Mm.
women who are willing to be real and authentic,
Yeah.
it it really taught me the safety and the value and the power
Mhm.
of me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was gonna try to
Yeah.
think of some other wonderful word, but we in and of ourselves have so much power that we don't give ourselves credit for.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
we literally are co-creators with God, not just in creation, like we able to have babies and make babies, but we can
Yeah.
create our moods. We can create atmosphere changes and
Mhm.
culture shifts. And so I learned that in Real Women. I also learned that from my inner sister circle, because my circle of sisters, because I learned that that I am okay. Like
Yeah.
to be able to share my innermost thoughts and my last 10%, my last 2%, my
Mm.
last 1%, to be able to share that and not have anybody clutch their pearls or walk
Yeah.
away from me being judgmental. It gave me the confidence within myself to know you are okay. You are
Yeah.
okay within you. So it's okay to start talking to you and dealing with you and working with you. You don't have to front for anyone. And so
Mhm.
that was so good for me. So those, as a result of that, I know, like I know me and what makes me get in a funk, get out of a funk. Like
Mhm.
if I choose to stay in the funk, I know I'm choosing to stay in the funk. Like
Right, right.
I'm not
You're
even
very aware. Yeah.
I'm giving myself these 24 hours to be in this funk,
Yeah.
to just be funky.
Yeah.
So I know those things, right? So for me, when it's time to shift my
Mhm.
mood, I want to ask this of you: what do you do to shift your mood, right? So
Yeah.
for me, the reason why I asked about music is because I know what to play when I want to shift, when I want to feel a certain way. It is
Mhm.
so bad that I have playlists in Apple Music, and one is affirmations. So when I need to feel good about myself, these are the songs that I play.
Yeah.
Another one is blues. When I want to feel sad and I want to wallow in it, this is what I'm gonna play. It's so crazy. Like it's literally listed like that. When I
Yeah.
want to really I put my focus, like when I want to just focus and get some work done, I know the kind of instrumental calm music that I need to play. So that's in here as focus. I
Mhm.
even have freedom songs because sometimes I need to remind myself that you are free to choose. You get to make these choices. So these
Mhm.
songs in here just all talk about freedom. That's
Yeah.
all. I just literally found freedom songs. I got hot music for when I'm feeling a little hot in my pants. So
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
freaky. I got hot music. So I love songs, when I'm just in a romantic mood. Like I have those because I know that that's what helps me, and I play them when I'm ready. Same thing
Mhm.
with podcasts. I'll listen to certain things to help me either shift my mood or help me settle in something that I want to settle in. I know
Yeah.
food does it for me. Like a certain kind of healthy food will put me in a better mood than the junk food. It might feel good in a minute. And if I want to feel good for a minute, but I know it's going to bring me down on the sugar low, all of the things. I am
Yeah.
aware of what those things do for me. I have others, but for you, sister, what do you
Yeah.
do to shift your mood?
Oh, I do so many things. So when I travel, I get out of
Yeah.
town.
You said I get out. I go.
Get out of town, change my environment, go
I go
somewhere
outside.
where it's nice weather, nice outside, right? So I travel. I also, if it's something local, I will just get out of the house and go for a drive. So
Mhm.
just to get, because sometimes, even though I love my home, being just confined, because I'll be in here for days and not leave the house, and so
Mhm.
that can wear on me too. So I would just leave the house, maybe go get something to eat, or just go outside. Also music, I have a lot of playlists, like you said. Like I have my when I turned 45, I had this playlist that was just fun, good music, dance music, and R&B. So it was a mixture. So I'll put that on. Also comedies. I love comedy. So I'll have like certain people that I watch on Netflix. I probably watch their comedy special 10 times, but I just know
Mhm.
it'll put me, in a different space.
I
So
do that
those are
too.
some of the things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being with my girlfriends, like, that definitely shifts my mood. When
Mhm.
we get together, we just have a good time, deep conversation.
Mhm.
um, yeah, so those are just some of the things that I do to
Yeah.
shift. Yeah.
This is good. And the
Mhm.
reason why I'm bringing this up is, I mean, in addition to it just being good conversation, it helps us it confirms some things that we know about ourselves. Yeah, I do that
Yeah,
when I do that. I do. But
yeah.
it's to encourage us in this sister conversation, this circle that we're in, this extended circle of the podcast, is are you able to do that for you?
Yeah.
Are you able to shift your own mood and not rely on someone else to shift it for you? Are you
Mhm.
able to fully assess where you are in the moment and know what it takes to get you from point A to point B.
Mhm.
Identify what it is. It's not that this is not some, level of awareness and arrival that, no one can attain. It's not
Mhm.
about that. It really is encouraging you that you probably already do some of this stuff and you just aren't, it isn't up here in your
Mhm.
conscious mind, that you're just doing it subconsciously. But to realize it, to bring it up to your conscious, makes it more intentional. You can now manage yourself better. Instead of
Mhm.
it just happening to you, you can make
Yeah.
it happen.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
a beautiful thing to be able to move and adjust and shift in a way that works for you. Um,
Mhm.
and for me, I am a better person to live with. I'm a better friend. I'm a better mother because I know me, and
Mhm.
I'm not relying on you to be my joy. I'm not
Mhm.
relying on you to give me love. I would love it. I welcome it.
Yeah.
Whatever you have is a gift, but it's icing on the cake I already baked for myself.
Yeah. You know what came to mind though, sister?
Mhm.
What kept me in the space of not managing myself for so long that I
Mm,
just want to kind of highlight
yeah,
was the victim mentality.
child. Mm, talk about it.
So, and it wasn't when you're talking about what's in our subconscious. So there was a part of me, maybe I would say underdeveloped, immature part of me that was so used to being a victim,
Mm,
whereas things have been done to me, um, to where I was making other people responsible for pulling me out of whatever mood I was in.
talk
And
about it.
so it took a while for me to want to be a manager of myself because I had grown so accustomed to being a victim and just sitting back and waiting for people to shift my mood.
Woo.
So I had to grow through therapy, through Real Women, through just getting tired, honestly, of my own stuff. Be like, girl, come on, one now. We're not going to sit here and be in this mood when we know we can shift it. But it took all of that for me to say, you know what? I don't have to sit in this space and be sad or be down or just allow this mood to take me throughout this whole day. I can be responsible for myself and be accountable for my own feelings. And
Mhm.
that made a difference for me also. When I determined and said, I have control over my emotions, over
Mhm.
over my moods. That was a game changer for me. And wanting to do something about it. Because it's one thing to know that I have control, but wanting to shift and just be in a lighter space or be, not be in such a sad space or whatever for too
Yeah.
long. So that I just wanted to lift that up because that came to me like, I wanted to play a victim for a long time. So
Yeah.
if I'm with someone and they make me feel some type of way, I just don't want to talk to you all day until whatever. Like that girl, say how you feel and go on about your business. Now come on.
And go on about your business. Let me tell you, I had to go looking for it because for those of you all who have been with us for a minute, you may already realize this and may have listened to it already. But it was
Mhm.
episode 3 this season 1, episode
Yeah.
3, that we really dug into the victim mentality. So if this is something you struggle with, go back to that episode because we dug into it during our deep dive. So we really
Yeah.
spent a lot of time there, just on that topic. Thank you for mentioning that, sister.
Mhm.
Um, we could, I think there's a part 2 here somewhere, but
Yeah.
we could keep going. I really want, because we've already said kind of what we feel like moves us, and
Mhm.
hopefully you all are hearing some that you resonate with, or you can think of some others that help you shift your own moods. If not, start trying some stuff, figuring
Mhm.
some stuff out, listening to some music, or getting outside, whatever might help you, talking to someone so that you can become more aware of that. I had one other piece of this I wanted to ask you about, Shavon. I would love for you, and is there ever a time to hold others accountable for how we feel?
Wow. Girl. Okay.
After we done all of this talk about I'm in control of my mood
Uh-huh.
and my feelings, and so is there ever a time to hold someone else accountable? And so while you're thinking, I just
Mhm.
want to say, um, I know how I've done it wrong. I have had
Okay.
unrealistic expectations of other people. We talked about that in the most recent episode, the last
Mhm.
episode. And so I don't, I guess I now expect what you express.
Okay. Mhm.
I expect only what you express. So if you tell me something is going to happen, that's the
Mhm.
only reason I should expect it because you said it, right? You
Mhm.
you you
Mhm.
said something was going to happen. So my mood might shift because whatever you said was going to happen or whatever, you were going to do for me didn't happen.
Mhm.
Then I'm still responsible for, like you said earlier, I'm still responsible for getting myself out of that funk, saying what I got to say and getting
Yeah.
myself out of that funk, because I can't stay here because you didn't
Yeah.
do what you said you were going to do. I can't live
Mhm.
here because
Yeah.
I counted on you for something. So I don't
Yeah.
know if it ever ends there for me, but what do you
Mhm.
think?
So when I think of, let me see, you said the accountability is someone ever
Can you ever
accountable.
hold anybody
Holds
else
me.
accountable for how you feel?
So I my first answer is no, because it's going to come back to holding myself accountable for how I allow them to treat me. So if I'm in
Mm,
relationship with someone, whether it be friend or a family or a romantic relationship, and they keep saying something to me or treating me a certain way that keeps shifting my mood,
mhm,
I think it's on me to one express that to them. You are hurting my feelings, like what you're
mhm,
saying or how you're saying it is hurting my feelings. And then they get to choose whether they want to shift how they're being or not. But I think ultimately it's up to me. And I have definitely been in this situation where I felt like I had verbalized how I felt on several occasions, and the person still desired to be who they were, and that didn't work for me. And so
yeah,
knowing how much my mood was shifting, I removed myself from the environment,
mhm,
because I did not, because of all this work that I've done on myself, what you're not going to do is treat me differently or less than how I treat myself. So
mhm,
um, I still think that the onus is on me holding myself accountable for controlling or being responsible for how I allow someone to treat me. So I think I can verbalize it. And especially if you're in a relationship or a marriage with someone, that's when it gets complicating because,
mhm,
you know, the first thought isn't to just run, from the relationship. So it's trying to figure out how to work through that, navigate through that, which is probably complex. But I think ultimately the responsibility is on me to verbalize and then and continue to verbalize, I guess, how that person is making me feel, and then make an adjustment in how I deal with that person. So
mhm, mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. What comes to mind for me is an adage that I heard in several different places,
Uh-huh.
but my response is my responsibility.
Yes, I love
So
that. Yeah. Yeah.
ultimately, it's on me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm responsible. So I am my own mood shifter. I
Yes.
love that.
Yes. And I think that's the key. A lot of times I think we put it on the other person without
Mhm,
realizing, like, that's something that's been just instilled in me by my counselor, by the coach that I had. Like, you have the power. You don't have
Mhm.
to just allow things to happen that you can control. You have the power to shift your mood.
You
Mhm.
get to choose.
Yep.
You get
Mhm.
to choose. Y'all,
Yeah.
this was a real deep dive, child. We
Yeah, I love this.
did that. Um, we want to know what you think. So please let us know how you feel about whether you are there as it relates to shifting your own moods. Are you conscious of it? Are you just realizing in this conversation what you do to shift your own mood? Have you
Mhm.
found yourself like we have, allowing others the power to hold over us, our emotions hostage? You know,
Yeah.
like have you found yourself there? Are you out of it yet? And how did you get out of it? We want to hear from you. If you're still stuck there, we want to hear from you because we know what that's like and we won't judge. We really do want to hear, where you are. Please reach out to us at speakpipe.com/real women, real talk. We would love to hear from you. And so, that was good, sister. Thank you for a deep dive.
Yeah.
We are now going to our next segment, which is putting myself in her shoes. And
Mhm.
this is where we have the opportunity to present a current event or a scenario, ask a question, just something that we would, ask maybe, what would you do? What would, if you were them, what would you do? You know? And
Yeah.
so we get to put ourselves in their shoes so we're not left judging them, but really practicing empathy and figuring out if I had similar circumstances, would I handle it the same way or different? And
Mhm.
so this is, I don't think I'm gonna get too mushy and deep about this, um, but I wanted to talk about a scenario that I can relate to and that has come
Okay.
up in the media recently.
Uh-huh.
And so it's a scenario. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. So you, Shavon, and audience, you are a member of a church that prides itself on being on the cutting edge to reach the lost and unchurched, right?
Mhm.
And so as a result, when you attend a service, you find that they are swag surfing to the actual swag surf song. Y'all remember this has come up in the and yeah, and girl.
Oh
It's
my
come up, I believe it was Bishop Murphy's Dream Center church.
God.
It's come up. He's been in so much hot water, bless his heart.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then maybe even same church, you're the member of the church, they play secular music in the sanctuary. And you know, that's a no-no for some churches. They won't even let you play secular songs for the weddings that you have
Uh,
at your churches, right?
uh,
And they not just play them, but they encourage you to get up and dance to it. You know,
yeah.
you can get up in your seat.
Yeah.
They can. I've seen some do two stepping, like they get the hand dancing going in the sanctuary. And
Yeah.
then they consistently invite non-gospel artists to be guest singers at their church.
Yeah.
You're just noticing these types of services and experiences are happening at your church. And they allow these secular artists to sing both gospel songs and their own songs that are not gospel.
Yeah.
And then maybe every once in a while, you've heard a curse word, maybe in context, you know, they said, you know, to hell with this, or you damned and going to hell, or you heard
Ooh,
a curse word here and there. Um, so putting yourself in the shoes of someone who's a member of that kind of church,
yeah.
does it bother you as a member? If not, why does it not bother you? And
Yeah.
if it does bother you, what do you do about it?
So I can absolutely put myself in these shoes because I have absolutely been in these shoes. So the I was the stuff yeah, I was like, this sounds like the church I used to go to. So I can relate. So I used to go to a church that was very non-denominational, progressive,
Mhm.
outside of the box type ministry. And
Mhm.
so if they would have played Swag Surfing, I wouldn't have had no issues with it. I would have been surfing and swagging because, I like a little swag in my church.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think the only thing is what part of the swag surfing song was it just the instrumental or was
Mm-mm.
it like I'm on that hypnotic and okay, all right, now we not
Mhm.
gonna do that in the church now. Come on, let's get to the part where it's don't talk about that part because I'm gonna be confused. So so I think it's just which piece of swag surfing song did they play because they talk about some stuff in that song. But I wouldn't have a problem with it just, if it's a safe piece of the song in the context. Now I have the church that I used to go to, they did bring in secular artists. Child, we had
Mhm.
Tank, Lettucey, all the people.
All the things.
And I was fine with them coming. I think there was a time where Tank came and he sung a song that had nothing to do with God or love or anything. I was like, oh, now that made me uncomfortable. I can't remember
Mhm.
which song it was, but I was like, uh-oh, I think we might have went too far with this one. Like it just didn't feel right. I was like, oh, I think we too far cutting edge. So I think there are some boundaries. Like I think I
Mhm.
don't mind it being a secular artist because I don't even believe in separating the
Mhm.
gospel and the secular and all that.
Mhm.
I think it's if it's about love and like uplifting, then I
Mhm.
think that's appropriate. If it's about
Mhm.
anything like sex or something like that, I don't think that's
Mhm.
appropriate. Um, so yeah, so and I forgot the other part. What did you say?
Cursing.
Okay, now cursing, I definitely would be uncomfortable. So I have heard that also. It wasn't a lot, but it was like during a sermon where the pastor might have slipped up and said a curse word. But
Mhm.
I think, all right, now that's where we're drawing the line because we might well just be in the club somewhere. Now we gonna do all that now, Pastor. Now, no, come on now. Now I understand you get, a little worked up, but I don't think that should be the norm because I think that's
Mhm.
just a little bit too much. So
Yeah.
I would feel uncomfortable with that because if I am thinking about myself and other people who are looking to grow
Mhm.
spiritually, like I don't see how that aligns with growth and trying to set ourselves apart and just focus on God and what we're learning in the Bible. So I wouldn't be able to understand how that connects. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So good. So I totally get it. And I think that it is all about our orientation, right? Where we're
yeah,
coming from and what we're bringing to the table, what we're coming with. Because
yeah,
as I'm coming from a very strict Pentecostal background, and
yeah.
even though my heart and mind is more open to much more than I was in that environment, there's
Uh-huh.
still some stuff that stay with me, be like, okay, now what we
Right.
doing in here now? What we doing in here now? Um, Lord, please don't strike us right now. Please,
Right.
Lord. If the Lord come back right now, we all going. So funny. Okay, so I think I similar sentiments as you've expressed. I won't go through each and every one of them. I think I'll add to it because just similar sentiments. But
Uh-huh.
two thoughts came to mind. You and I happen to love that chick Angel, right?
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
and that chick Angel, social media personality, she has a really hot song out. She's done several remixes, one
Yeah,
margarita, right?
yeah,
And she has I mean, it's a fun song and
it
it's
is.
not meant to be anything but fun. And it
Yeah,
stems from a social media moment that
yeah,
she reported on. And as a result, was just her funny self, right? But it's nasty. It's
it
nasty,
is.
right?
Yes, yes, very.
So,
Yeah,
um, and as a grown a woman, I can giggle at it all day.
yeah.
And I love how she made fun with it. And at the end of it, she was like, I'm lying. I'm gonna be in the bed. I ain't gonna be like
Right.
this. I'm gonna be in the
Yeah.
bed. But what happened was we went to actually go see her and her husband, you and I did. And when it
Uh-huh.
was time for me to post pictures, I wanted to use the song, but I was like, but I'm not gonna use the lyrics though. So
Yeah,
So
I get it.
I found the instrumental version. I was like, just the church girl in me wouldn't let me put on because I know the words. If you don't know the
Funny,
words,
yeah.
look them up.
Yeah.
But I did the instrumental and I was like, yep, we was there. We was there.
That is so funny because I think I posted it in my story. I might have posted like the first part of it, but yeah, that's
It's
so
so
funny. Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
So that's it speaks to the mixture in me,
Yes.
and why I would, be okay with some of this in the church,
Yeah.
but not okay with some
Right.
others.
Yeah.
And it's so individualistic. And the other thing I thought about very seriously, and I know this is not a deep dive, but just for a second, I want to say this
Yeah.
because I think about the goal is to make ultimately in church, to make disciples, right? To
Yeah.
bring people closer to God.
Right.
And so I know that some of that will make people think more about not being close to God.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
All the other things that they're doing not in church, and
Right.
they expect a very different experience in church, even if they're cool with that stuff outside of church.
Yeah.
So I think we're defeating the purpose of church if we do too much of that. And
Yeah.
too much is so relative. It is
It
so
is.
individual. So
Yes.
everybody has to kind of decide what works for you, and go to the church that does it the way you want it to be done. Um,
Exactly.
but on the other end, I have been at churches that have been so holy
Mm, mm,
and
mm,
so sanctified
mm,
that
mm.
they are scary to people who are not of the church yet. And
Yes.
so if that is God, I don't want the
I
spooky.
don't
I
want no
don't want
part
it. I
of
don't
it.
want it. And
No.
so I mean just so scared. I mean everything is speaking in tongues and every with no interpretation and no
Yeah.
understanding, and get up and fall out and jump here and go there and run around the church and do this and that. And
Mm.
maybe if I'm of that
Yeah.
orientation, it's not
Mhm.
foreign to me. I
Right.
understand it. But if your goal is not just to suit you all
Yeah. Right.
and to make you all feel good every Sunday,
Mhm.
but to invite people in who are not you and not
Yep.
already familiar, then
Mhm.
we've got to come to some middle ground. So where
Absolutely.
you are
Yep.
practical enough and
Mhm.
sensible enough and realistic enough that somebody can relate to you,
Yes. Yes.
but also feel like they are in the church. And that is just such a hard middle
It's
ground.
hard
That's
to
why, yeah,
exactly.
that's why it's hard to find a good church. And why
Mhm.
some people during the pandemic chose, you know what, Bedside Baptist.
Yes, Baptist. I'm a church hop on the internet. Yep.
So
I
I
know
just
that's
thought that was
right.
a fun topic. I don't know.
Yeah, because the Saints was not happy about that, honey. But
Mm-mm.
it's tough because, like you said, it depends on your background, and
Yeah,
what you're comfortable with. So I get it for sure.
yeah. We would
Yeah,
love to know what y'all think about this one.
yeah, yeah.
We would absolutely love to hear from you. So give it to us at speakpipe.com/ real women, real talk. If you don't want to be heard live, just tell us. I just want to tell y'all this, and y'all, do what you want with it. But don't play me on the podcast. You won't,
Right.
you won't just tell us.
Yeah.
But we do want to hear from you. So please feel free to leave us a voicemail and talk back to us at speakpipe.com/ real women, real talk. It's your opportunity to broaden this circle and engage with us.
Yes.
Well, sister, this has been fun.
Yes, it has. I've enjoyed
It
this.
has. This was fun. I giggled a lot. I kikied a lot. So we are in our last segment, and this is Spiritual Nugget, where we leave you food for thought. It may be a result of what we've seen and talked about during this episode or not. And I'm wondering, sister, has anything come up for you either during this conversation or just in your heart or mind that you want to share?
Yeah, and I cannot think about the poet. that said
Mm,
this, and how it was said, but I know you know what I'm talking about.
mhm,
When and I used to recite this in the 6th grade, and I can't remember, but it was just basically saying, "I am the master of my fate. I am the master of my soul," or something like that.
mhm, mhm,
I think it might have been Robert Frost or Edgar Allan Poe. Somebody said it. I'll look it up
mhm,
and figure it out. But it just made me think about the fact that we have been given by God so much power that
mhm,
I think a lot of times we don't tap into. But if
mhm.
we were just to understand how powerful we are as beings, I think it would be a life-changing, experience for us. Like, if we were really to tap into, you don't get to change my mood. Imma shift my mood. You
Mm,
don't get to
mhm.
dictate or control my emotions. I am responsible for my emotions.
So
That in
good.
and of itself is a game changer, because
Mhm,
then that means you get to decide how you wanna feel at any given moment.
mm, mm,
When
mm,
we master that,
mm,
baby,
mm,
like, you can't
mm,
tell me
mm,
nothing.
mm,
'Cause I don't care
mm,
how much you showing out, you don't have to shift my mood. Well, you just go ahead and do what you need to do. Okay.
mm,
Alright,
mm,
you can be just as calm, you know? And I think Dr. Vicky said that one time before, like, she said she's evolved to the place of just not being irritated by the things that people do anymore, and it's so
mhm,
evident how she lives her life. We're talking about Dr. Vicky Johnson, um,
mhm,
who is the mentor of mentors. Like, she's amazing, but just
mhm,
to see how she moves and flows through life, like,
mhm,
that is exactly, where how I aspire to be emotionally, spiritually. Like, I'm in the clouds. Like, I am just
mm,
floating through
mm.
life, and nothing that anybody does or says will shift my mood. Like, that's the place that I aspire to be. So yeah.
Ooh, child. Ooh. Okay, so first woosah, so much that
Yeah.
you said, I can,
Right.
it resonates with me. I'll start with where you ended. Dr. Vicky Johnson's words are, "Can you imagine living an unoffended life?"
Yes, yes, that's
Just
a
where you are just not offended by
yeah.
anything or anybody. You just let it roll off of you. And then while you were talking, I went ahead and did it for you. I looked up, the poem is Invictus, and
Yes.
it's by William Ernest Henley.
Mm,
And it's four refrains, really powerful. But the last two lines are, "I am the master of my fate.
mhm.
I am the captain of my soul."
Oh, that's what it is. Yes, yes.
Mhm. So
Mm,
good.
mm.
And you just made me think of, I'm going to end with this one because I think it may have even been in your head and your heart too, because it's one that I know we've heard over and over again, but I think it's powerful every time that it's recited. And I think I just want to go ahead, and we already at an hour, might as well. So I'm gonna
Might
just
as
go ahead and
well.
read it.
Okay.
This is Our Deepest Fear by Marianne Williamson.
Yes.
It says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Who am I to be brilliant? We ask ourselves. Who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be?
Mm,
You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same.
Mm,
As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
mm. I love that. Yes,
Really
one of
love.
my favorites.
Mm.
Mhm.
This was a good girl.
Yes, it was. Yes, it
A
was.
good. I don't know about y'all, but I'm feeling all the feels. I
Oh,
so appreciate this hour with you, sister, and with you all. Thank you for joining us and sticking with us through the whole episode. We encourage you to invite someone to listen, to follow, like, and share everywhere Real Women is. We want you to follow us on all of these platforms, these podcast platforms. Say that 3 times, and we really do want you to share it so that we can get this message out to others that you can be real and authentic and have fun and be deep and serious and kiki all in one moment. Like it can
yeah.
all happen because it's all in you, and all of that is worthy of expression. So thank you for being with us, and invite you to join us at realwomenrock.org to find out more about Real Women, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Yes. Bye, y'all.
See y'all. Bye bye.